Hi, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
I've never seen Lost.
I have.
I'm told that it's good.
I liked it.
I'm told that it made sense. Sort of. But we're watching it out of order.
So it definitely won't make sense.
But it might still be good. Since we won't expect it to make sense, we'll still be able to appreciate each episode on its own merits as a 1-hour story.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
As opposed to just a fraction of an ongoing, sprawling, and increasingly complex tangle of relationships, personal stories, mysteries, mythologies, experiments, social dynamics, unnatural disasters, unanswered questions, and hot tropical hookups.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Because you lost me a little bit there at the end.
Well, good, because I've been lost since the beginning. We're Lost on Lost.
Welcome, everybody, to Lost on Lost. I'm Adam Busher, and I'm joined, as always, by someone I would name my boat after if I were ever bourgeois enough to own a boat for fun, JP Russell.
Adam, you are that meme of the cat in the suit and tie, and it just says, I should buy a boat.
It's not untrue, I suppose. Today we're talking about Live Together, Die Alone, the 23rd and 24th episodes of Season 2, and the 48th and 49th episodes of Lost. Overall, our centric character is everyone's favorite time hobo, Desmond David Hume. Live Together, Die Alone takes place on the 65th, 66th, and 67th days after the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. JP,
Yeah.
you got a recap?
Sure do.
Hit it.
What a relaxing Sunday night. I have nothing to do, nowhere to be. I can just sit here and relax. Hey, young Carlton Hughes, don't forget you have to finish writing that season finale of Lost by tomorrow. Holy shit, I forgot about the script. I better wrap all this shit up. On the island, literally everything happens. In the hatch, Locke and Desmond decide to let the hatch clock count down. They're going to live together and possibly die alone. Jack and the A-Team try to get the jump on Trader Michael and the others. They're going to be surprised together and have their minds blown. In the before times, Desmond is trying to win a boat race to impress Charles Widmore. If Desmond wins, Charles sure is going to moan and groan, and Penny is sleeping alone, but picks up the phone. Well, let's get into... Hey, what's this episode called again? Oh, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Let's get into some Lost. Adam, we have some guests.
I couldn't be happier. The last time we did a double-length episode, we had 2 guests. And then a few episodes ago, we had 2 guests, really for no good reason. And now we have a double-length episode again and 2 guests again. And it's going to be a blast because these 2 absolutely rule. Welcome back to the show. Brett Charles, Jack Kelly. Both.
Yes.
For the record, I could be happier. But
wow.
I had some free time. I remember I made a promise.
Yeah.
Or rather, y'all made a promise to me.
Right.
To bring me back for this episode. So thank you, being men of your words.
A deal's a deal. But again, because it's a double-length episode and we want to have another guest on to help create some more opinions and more conversation regarding this 90 minutes of television, we brought back for the hat trick.
Who? Yes.
Jack Kelly. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And who has more opinions than me on anything?
Jack, why don't you refresh the audience as to your history with the television show Lost?
I have seen a season and a half of Lost. I did not continue watching it because the next DVD was not available at the front desk of my dorm.
That's right. And Brett, yourself, your Lost history, refresh us.
The gist of it is that Lost is the first TV show, the first serial drama of like the 21st century that I gave a damn about.
Sure.
For better or worse.
Sure.
It is funny looking back on it now that we are in the, second or third golden age of television, or at least now in the gilded side of it, thanks to streaming.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I'll go back and pay respects to it and also take jabs at it when appropriate, which very appropriate.
Cranking a couple of cheap shots. Yeah.
Totally.
Excellent. All right, let's do it.
Let's get in some Lost.
Live Together, Die Alone originally aired on May 24th, 2006. It was written by Hughes and Lindelof and directed by Jack Bender. I think that Hughes, Lindelof, and Bender is the law firm from Suits, but I could not be bothered to look it up. So the survivors spot a sailboat.
Yes, the survivors see that boat that we saw on the podcast 6-8 months ago and then forgot about.
And then forgot exists, the Elizabeth. Yeah. Out of Newport Beach. Jack, Saeed, and Sawyer decide to swim out to it.
It felt like a Mentos commercial.
I was really excited for Shirtless Men. So
They get out there. It just must be good swimming time on the beach, because every time I've seen somebody try to swim off the beach, they drown or almost drown.
They also managed to all swim a pretty substantial...
Like a mile? Half a mile? It's so far.
Yeah, with pistols tucked in their waistbands.
That worked fine afterwards, right?
Yeah.
No waterlogged.
No. And then when they get on the boat, not a single one of them is out of breath. I don't know if any of you have ever like tried to swim like a race or something like that, but like I used to swim laps over at the Burbank pool, and even like an 800, like you get, like it's like running. It's like, dude, it's cardio. Yeah, they're all great swimmers. It's fine.
I love that this is what breaks Adam.
I was
right
so
off the bat.
angry,
It's just
honestly.
mad about the swimming.
Well, it's from the get-go, right? Like, there's nothing, you don't have anything going on.
Right. Like I was just like sitting here waiting to, all right, here we go. Here's the, it's the big season 2 finale. Like, okay. And I was like, act like you're tired. Like that's tiring.
Right.
It's fine. They get up on the boat and they're sneaking around. Ooh. And then somebody from inside just starts blasting.
They wait until they hear click, click, click. Guns run dry.
Mhm.
So they pull open the hatch door there, and our good old drinking buddy Desmond's wasted out of his mind with a bottle and a shotgun.
Yeah. Just drunk as hell. And seems pretty like happy to see them, or at least one Jack. But yeah, he's hammered. It's awesome. And then right into the lost card. Pretty quick opening tag here. That night, Desmond's just still drinking, tying one on.
Yeah, no repercussions either,
No.
apparently, to like almost murdering like 3 main characters.
It's like, so it's like 60 some odd days in. There's been plenty of negligent discharge. There have been plenty of, just like people wanging each other. Like Shannon got shot to death by somebody, 2 people recently got shot. It's like the more often shootings happen, the more desensitized you become to them.
Ain't that America?
I don't know whatever you could be talking about, Adam.
Yeah, right?
Is that a reference to like society?
I don't know.
What are you trying to say?
I never leave my apartment or watch the news or consume the internet. Jack asks why he came back after running off. Desmond is like, I didn't come back. I tried to leave, but I
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I just sailed in a straight line, but apparently it was a circle because I'm just back here again.
Yeah, there's no escape. This is all that is left. There is nothing else besides this damn island. And then he offers up. He's like, "Hey, you still pushing that button like a chump?"
He very specifically says this is all there is, stuck in a snow globe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And knowing what we know about the ending of the show, like they had an idea of what it was, and then it went off the rails. I was really fascinated by that. It was like, oh, they were laying the groundwork for that.
Sort of, yeah.
Which is great, but then you're also like, this man is very drunk. So maybe it's a snow globe because he was drunk the whole time.
Very much the foolish wisdom.
Cut to a flashback. Desmond is being discharged from the Royal Scots after spending some time in the stockade. We don't know why he's in prison, and they didn't necessarily say. There's an exchange with him and the desk officer.
So I have a question about that scene. Sure. The exchange with the desk officer. I've never been in the military, so I'm really going to lean on the two of you. Is that large of a room where something like that would happen?
No.
Yeah, I was like, the prison like reception area would hypothetically be very separate from the cells area, which seemed to be just over Desmond's shoulder.
Yeah, it almost seemed like the cells it was like the information center for the cell blocks.
It was as if
welcome.
It felt like the locations department gave up. They just were like, yes, this place, and then they were like, oh, fuck, what do we do with this? All right, just put a desk here.
Gave
and we'll
up
just
or
put
thought
them
it was
there.
a brilliant idea to communicate that you are now in jail. Welcome to Jailtown. Here's the front desk of Jailtown.
Maybe it was also like, okay, but this is what British prisons look like.
And remember, if I remember from Power of Beyond, we don't know anything, or at least they back then didn't know anything about the Australian healthcare system.
Yep.
So that's true. So unsurprisingly, they probably didn't know anything about the British military prison.
And could not be bothered to ask.
No. The internet was so young back then.
Exactly.
There was no other way to learn things.
The other flip side to that, though, Jack, is like, what if the locations person was like, I scored us an entire fucking prison, and they're like, no, we just need like a room. It can just be like a white walled room. I got you an entire fucking prison.
You're
gonna use it. Like,
or like I got you an entire fucking prison. They walk in the first room and they're like, this is great. They're like, no, there's another room. No, this is perfect. We'll do it right here. Like, no.
We don't need to lug everything up the stairs.
No.
Up the stairs.
He leaves. He cuts him loose. He says, enjoy your stupid book. Desmond's got this book. He's like, I'm going to read this right before I die. He's a huge fan of Charles Dickens, apparently. He's read every lovely word. I want to do a quick survey. Who here has read anything by Charles Dickens? Jack?
Nope.
Brett?
Not unless I was told to.
Okay. JP?
I've seen a Muppet Christmas Carol. Does that count?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Like half a point? All right, then yeah.
I think I started reading Great Expectations in high school, and I was like, I'm not reading this.
I expected more.
Yeah.
Like,
your 1-star Amazon review was like, I did not have great expectations.
Yeah. Okay.
Not even those were met.
Okay expectations at best. Okay, so like maybe Dickens is really good. We on the podcast here have no way of knowing. Why would we ever read a book?
Books are for losers.
TV.
There's TV
And Muppets.
Yeah, exactly. So he's got this book. I'm gonna read this. This is gonna be the last thing I read before I die. He's like, well, it helps if you know when you're gonna die. Enjoy your book, fucker. And then like,
well, it's that, and he had that giant picture with him. Like, who the fuck carries around a photograph that fucking big with them?
We've established
everywhere?
here on the podcast that wallet-sized photos don't exist in the Lost universe. That's why the smallest picture that anybody has is a 5x7.
That fucking killed me. I was like, you have to be joking me. I literally wrote, who carries around a physical photo that large? That is what I literally wrote in my notes because I was really mad about it.
He should have to have a 5x7 wallet.
Desmond leaves the prison. He's just like sad boy in his sad reign.
It was very British.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's when he gets outside, there's a fancy looking, was that a Rolls Royce or some sort of fancy like town car that's waiting for him. Window rolls down and it's old buddy Charles Chuck.
Charles Widmore. Yep.
Yeah, Charles Widmore. And he's like, get in, you schmuck.
He's like, I would never. And she's like, come on. He's like, okay.
Yeah,
Hard
fine.
bargain.
It is raining pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Desmond gets in the car, and Widmore's like, hey, man, glad you're out of prison. I've got 2 boxes here. One's your past, one's your future. He opens one up. He's been stealing mail. Charles Widmore is a mail thief.
Yeah, actual criminal.
Like
yeah.
a literal criminal.
Like,
Yeah.
you get at least one thing on him for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
mail fraud.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Like the prisons, maybe the laws are different in the UK. Maybe you can steal people's
Maybe you can steal
mail.
mail.
maybe it's
We
encouraged.
don't know.
Different culture.
Despite the fact that mail fraud and theft is encouraged in the UK, Desmond's pretty upset about this.
Is he though? He seemed pretty like
you.
Yeah, like, he didn't choose violence at any point
That's
in
true.
which like I feel like he could have.
Could have.
I get it. He's very tired and wet from just getting out of prison, but
Yeah.
also like he didn't even say like you motherfucker.
I can't believe you.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, classic Charles.
So I was very excited once we started watching this episode because, Jack, we have another very wet character on our hands.
It's true. You have a track record of wet characters. Yeah.
And you know what? I was very grateful for all of it. I was extremely grateful for all of it.
The box with his future, Desmond's future, is just a box full of cash. It's the classic rich dad buying the dude off. You see it in TV and movies all the time. Here's a bunch of money. Never speak to my daughter again. I don't know why dudes, when they're presented with that, are be like, okay, take the money, and then they're like, just continue to see his daughter.
just
Like, you're not a
actually
cop.
do it,
Like,
so,
well,
yeah.
yeah, just keep doing it.
Psych! I'm using this money and taking her to Pizza Ranch.
We made a non-contractual deal.
Right. Your father offered me a bunch of money to never hang out with you again. And that was a huge dick move for him to do that because he thinks he can run your life. So, like, I bamboozled him. I did the Uno reverse. I was like, I took his money and now I'm going to go, let's go on vacation, you and me.
Also, one of my 9 notes I took was Charles didn't actually say this, but the whole exchange just made me think of Lord Humongous and just walk away.
Just walk away.
Like, I wish he had seen that just so like, oh, now I can put the Humongous mask on him. Like, funny meme. Funny Lost meme in the year 2023. That's what we need right now.
I mean, that's kind of the stated premise of this podcast. So
Woodmore's like, you're going to take the money because you're a coward. Don't say that. You're
No.
mean. You're mean.
That's not
like,
nice.
We already understand that
Is
you're mean.
coward like to Desmond what chicken is to Marty McFly? Is that like the
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
is that's it? Okay.
Nobody Calls me chicken. Cut to the beach. Jack and Saeed. Saeed has a plan to get a drop on the others.
That he can't
Yeah.
do.
They have to have that line of dialogue be like, hey, remember a couple episodes when we talked about that Michael's compromised, for those of you that missed that episode?
Yeah, or watched it
yeah.
4 months, 5 months ago.
Okay,
10
but
months
Yeah.
ago, who knows?
okay, but look, that was really helpful for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I
yes.
was like, wait, what?
That's good TV writing.
Sometimes they do exposition correctly. There's a way to overdo it. There's a way to underdo it. This was pretty good.
Yeah.
This plan's not going to work, like you said, Brett. There's no way he can do this. It's not going to happen.
No, there's way too. I couldn't figure out exactly what the plan was. Like, I'm gonna sail around and burn some leaves, but why do you have to sail around? Couldn't you just like be right behind them? Like, why do you have to sail?
Or, Jack's MO when it comes to putting together A-team missions, it's going to take him 3.5, 4 days to get the team together. Just leave now.
Right, go ahead of them.
Yeah, get ahead.
To be honest, I tuned out when he was explaining the whole
I
plan.
kind of did too. Yeah.
Yeah, my only note was just he's got a plan. That's it. Cut to the hatch. John Locke is talking to Echo about the button.
Oh, this was my favorite Sam Beckett play. Right here.
And John Locke's like, I've been thinking, and out loud to just the room that was occupied with only me and my dog. I said, "What if we kissed?"
What if we kissed by the button?
And he says, I've been thinking, what if we let the clock run out? And I was like, that's less interesting. And then Locke goes on, oh, we're a slave to the button. And he uses the word slave a whole bunch. And I was like, oh, well, let me stop you right there, John. You got to be careful using the slave parallel with somebody who's actually black.
And it's Black History Month while we're recording this. So I literally thought to myself when John said that, I was like, during Black History Month? You bastard. John, how could you?
You better Venmo him $5 right now.
That's right. That's right.
I thought that was a JP. I'm with you. That was an absolutely wild thing for a white character to say to a black character. Yeah. I had no words. I kind of like disassociated for like 20 seconds.
This is uncomfortable.
I will only say that it's very on brand for John too.
Oh yeah,
for John to say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm worried that John Locke's one of those guys that, like, 5 minutes into Echo being like, hey, that's really insensitive, he'd be like, well, no, if you look back in history, there were white slaves too.
Absolutely. Slaves in a you know that the Hebrews were slaves in Egypt.
I think whatever.
Yeah. So Echo fucking thrashes him. He's like, yeah, we're still pushing the button, and I'm bigger than you, so nah.
Yeah, that's how island rules work, baby.
Yeah. Gives him a couple of good ones, and then Locke tries to destroy the computer with his stick, and Echo just catches it, and he's like, we're not doing this. Bye.
No, nice try.
Cut to the beach. Jack, Kate, Hurley, Sawyer, and Michael are getting ready to leave. Kate is suspicious. That's my only note.
I don't even mention it 9 times out of 10 in the podcast, all the bad firearms handling, but Jack just hands Michael a gun, and Michael's just like, I have a gun now. I'm like, You didn't check it. You didn't throw the safety on. You didn't check the chamber, check the mag, nothing. He's just like, well, I have a gun. Here we go.
I only push back enough to be like, okay, I guess like all these randos on an airplane, like they're only going to have so much gun training. It's more so, I would actually push back more on the thought of Jack being like, hey, not even to ask, do you know how to use a gun?
Yeah.
Do you know how to use
Not even asking, like, have you ever had gun experience? No. Oh. Well, here you go. Let's try.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think to check any of that because I've never even held a gun.
Right.
So, like, I wouldn't know what to do, what to check, what's good.
Sure.
But also, again, Hurley, best character in the room whenever he's in the room, being like, I don't want this.
No.
Thank
Yeah. I'll accidentally kill somebody. Isn't that the point? Says Sawyer.
Jack, when we're stranded on a jungle island together, I'll run you through how to use a gun. Don't worry
Great,
about
thank you.
Continuous on the beach. Saeed is getting the boat from Desmond. Desmond is returning from the boat. He had to go and get his supplies, which I think is just a huge bag full of wine.
Checks out.
Why not?
So Saeed's like, I need your boat. Can I borrow it? And Desmond's like, you want to go check out the hostels? Have fun with that. Flashback. Desmond gets to America.
I continue. Just explain the scene and then we'll talk about it.
He grabs a coffee. He gave the last of his American money to a cab driver, so he's got no dollars to buy his coffee. And a woman offers to pay for his coffee. And by a woman, I of course mean Livy Smith, played ably by Cynthia Watros, who appeared on Titus for 3 seasons.
When's the Titus podcast? I want Titus.
It's in pre-pro.
All right. Keep it posted.
Brett, don't even put that out into the universe, Brett. God
Too
damn
late.
it.
Too late. We'll talk.
Brett, no.
They sit down. It's TV, so it's like, oh, we're hot. Let's the two of us hang out. He's like, I'm gonna sail a boat around the world to win the heart of my love and shove it in her dad's face.
Yeah.
I don't have a boat. She's like, I have a boat. It belonged to my husband. He's recently dead. Have my boat.
No. Specifically, he would have wanted you to have this boat.
He would have wanted you to have this boat. Man, who I've just met and does not have $4.
And also doesn't know my husband's name yet in this order of events.
Right.
I wrote, so again, what are my 9 notes? The other one was, he'd want you to have this boat. And like, as I'm typing out, what the fuck is his husband's name? He then, Desmond asks, what was his name?
What was your husband's name?
Like,
Jack, are you okay?
the power of being a broke, sad British man in America that you have over like middle-class white women in America.
The Idris Elba, I'm aware of the effect I have on women.
Oh, he's not wrong. Okay, I want to make that very clear. I even have like Scottish accents and put like a smiley face with like heart eyes. I love Scottish accent. But no, okay. So this scene, I was so mad at like him being like, I am going to sail and I'm going to win this boat race to show my ex's dad that I can love her. I'm like, what is this plan? Just the fact that she was like, oh, I have a boat. I was like, oh, what a coincidence.
Right.
What a fucking coincidence. Thank you, television. We just choose to have this coincidence happen that this random lady that buys you a coffee has a fucking boat, and then her husband's dead, and so he won't mind if he just gets the boat. And like, you kept saying that we don't even know the husband's name. We didn't even get her name.
That's true.
Right.
Until after her husband's name.
That's
Only because he asked what the boat's name.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
Whenever you meet a stranger, what is your husband's name?
Yeah.
What is your boat's name? What is your name?
Oh, so I guess that's your name? Okay,
Yes,
great.
that's a typical greeting. But like,
What's your boat's name?
Do all like first dates in Britain work like this?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I dated an Irish guy. Yes.
Not the same.
It's not the
Chuck
same.
Yarlaw.
He was worse. But it's nothing against Irish people. You're all lovely, except for him. Whatever. But I literally said, like, do we even get her name? Like, I was just so mad.
The amount of like main character brain poison that Desmond has in like, this is going to solve all my problems.
Well, but also like specifically Libby, like, okay, so we know that she's a therapist or a psychiatrist.
Clinical
she's
psychologist.
or a psychologist. She's now got a dead husband in a boat. We've also seen her in an insane asylum. I'm like, is there ever a Libby episode where we get anything that connects all these threads? Or is she just like, the writer's like, shit, well, we want to make sure we don't give Kate anything to do, so let's just have Cynthia Watros just fill in these plot holes.
No, we never really learned too much about Libby, sadly.
What the fuck? That's so weird.
I'm like, I know one of the big themes of Lost is like fate and like how lives are intertwined and everything like that. But like, yeah, this whole thing is just like, this isn't fate. This is just convenience. Like, this is
Right.
This is Damon being like,
oh God. Desmond promises to win the race for love.
what does that even mean, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have taken the money from Charles and then bought a boat anyway. It's just take the money from the guy.
He could have taken the boat, taken the money, take everything.
Take the money, take the boat. You got rich folk just dropping shit on you because you're hot and Scottish. Take it all. Take it all. Take everything that everybody's going to give you because why not?
Take rich people's money and then lie.
Yes, and then lie to them.
Correct.
Cut to the beach. Son and Jin are going to help Saeed with the boat. Saeed's like, I just need Jin. The women folk can stay here.
Yeah.
And Son's like, no.
No.
Mid-2000s.
Good for her, though.
Yeah.
He goes to Son and is like, I know your husband doesn't speak English. Can you tell him that I need him to come with me and sail my boat for me?
Yeah, and then That's it. And that's the extent of your involvement. Please and thank you.
And that'll be all for you. You can go back by Claire and whoever else and
do
do
vagina things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jin comes over and he's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "The boat, and he's like, "I'm not leaving you." And she's like, "Yeah, of course not. Like, you're not going without me. Don't you fucking think for a second I'm leaving you out of my sight ever again. One time you almost drowned on a raft. Don't ever leave my side."
My 6 out of 9 notes.
Nice.
Still a Sun stan for me. Just like, yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Top 3 characters? I think I would say top 3. Yeah.
Easily.
So good.
In fact, she's done things that had another character done it, I would have hated it, but because it was Sun, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like when she shot Colleen, I was like, get it. Get it.
Yeah.
I'm still so proud of her. She just blew that bitch away.
All 6 in the 10 ring.
Here we go.
You're so right.
I did get distracted by Daniel Day Kim's cheekbone.
Very handsome.
That's understandable.
Oh my God.
Only gets handsome the longer his hair gets too. Like it's all good.
It is just like unfair that like a human being can be that pretty.
Yeah.
Cut to the jungle.
Hey, Brett.
Hmm.
Do you want to talk about some birds some more?
Buddy? Do I?
So
This episode's got everything.
so Kate saves Sawyer from the doll trap again, or not again, but like. And then this leads to like it felt like an eternity. I think it was probably only 45 seconds, but it was like Kate and Sawyer talking about the jack and the net. It's like, oh, when he said you were caught in a net, I thought that meant something else. You meant a literal net. I thought you guys were talking about fucking.
My note for that is just like, oh my God, this love triangle. I wrote straights are wild.
They're not okay.
They're not okay.
They're very much not okay.
These folks are in a survival situation. Every day they got to worry about Maslow's hierarchy, food, shelter, water, all that shit.
And fucking.
But then, fucking is like right in there.
And
in their head, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is like the base level is like shelter. What is it? Shelter, signal, the 3 things Jesse Krebs said.
I think I know where you're getting at. And really, for them, it's like a Triforce. In that negative space inside, fucking.
I was going to say it's a pyramid, but it's built on 2 little stilts.
Yes.
And the stilts are made out of fucking.
Fucking.
Yes.
Exactly.
So they're not even the same amount of words.
Correct.
More sex has been had in the 65 days on that island than like I've had probably the last 2 years. Like, and I'm not on an island. Like, this is ridiculous.
Adam's like, let's not meditate too hard on that.
It's fine.
Is it? Do you want to talk about it, buddy?
If you want to fuck Adam, go ahead and email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com.
Please and
Send
thank
us
you.
a coffee or some dick.
Oh, no, don't send some dick. I am straight and I am not okay.
Oh, now he's getting picky. All right, so so a fucking bird swoops down.
Hurley, the Hurley bird.
Real quick, did anyone watch this with captions on? Yes.
Bird, Hurley.
Bird says Hurley.
Bird says Hurley. Whatever you say, the captions.
Yeah, and Michael immediately just ducks and starts
blasting.
He wanted to start blasting.
I know Michael made a heel turn, but fair. Like,
I mean,
a giant bird saying actual words, and I got a gun. I might just be like,
that's fair. Yeah,
not thinking about it.
My only complaint about it was he essentially did the thing where you thread your fist through your elbow and are trying to protect your face and punch at the same time with the gun, except the fist was a gun, and so that was pretty horrifying.
Hurley, best character in the room.
Yeah.
Did
that bird say my name?
Yeah, there's the 1-2 screenshot meme of bird says Hurley. Did that bird say
my name?
Obviously not.
Michael realizes that his gun was empty, and Jack's like, I
forgot to load that one.
Forgetful talk. I forgot to load it. Here you go.
Like that face of oh, I didn't do it. I was like, could you be a worse liar? I don't care for him.
Might as well throw in a few. What?
I must have dropped all the bullets someplace. Old Butterfingers, Doc Jack Shepherd.
Go full Bobcat Goldthwait. Hey, I just couldn't. Whoops.
There's just a sad trombone sound off in the distance.
Is that bird playing a sad trombone?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Fucked up, Jack.
Cut back to a different place in the jungle. Charlie.
John likes his crying.
Just having a cry. Everybody's allowed.
God, the pose. He like knew his composition.
Yep,
He knew
exactly.
the shot.
He found
that
his
he was
window.
going for.
Yep.
He was like, this is my crying branch. I'm just gonna cheat this way. I all expected him to go like a blue, 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 blue. Like, peek around.
Look
Make sure
around.
Charlie's looking. Oh, Charlie, I didn't see you.
I also just don't understand why like we all keep venturing into the woods when there's like people that hate us and are trying to kill us. And they all just keep going into the woods, and I'm like, why are we going to stay on the beach, you fools?
It's one thing to show vulnerability. It's another when people are actively trying to kill you.
Exactly. The buddy system. Again, even if you got to go off
Have
for
a cry buddy.
Bring a cry buddy.
You gotta have a cry buddy.
Yeah, be like, can you just like stand over there with your back towards me?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, man.
He's like, oh, or if you got a regular one, like John comes wandering up and he's like, hey, Scott or Steve, whatever. And he's like, having some big feelings there, big guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to go to the crying tree?
Yeah.
Charlie's like, hey, man, I know you're feeling weird about the hatch.
So let me dunk on you a bit.
Charlie and John don't get along much at all. We've got most of the pieces of their relationship.
Yeah.
It's been bad and it's not great between the two of them. So like I buy it. But yeah, he's just like, hey, Desmond's back. Your hatch buddy. Why don't you go talk to him if you got to cry about whatever?
Yeah, he's this real like shit-eating like kind of grin then as he walks away like, I really got him.
Yeah.
Zinged him.
Kick a man while he's down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
You can't kick a man while he's at the crying tree.
That's right. That's one of the
Can't do
rules
it.
of the crying tree.
It's against the
rule of
fucking
crying
rules.
tree.
If you're going to use up the last of Kleenex, get more. Don't make fun of people at the crying tree. All you're going to do is reinforce the thing that it's not okay to be vulnerable on the island.
Yes, it's okay to cry if you're vulnerable or if like you lose somebody or a sports guy retires, but he's crying because Mr. Echo shoved him out the door and said, you can't do the thing you want to do.
He lost. Yeah, he's grieving his friendship with Mr. Echo. It took a big hit.
No, you can't beat this computer with my stick.
Right. I'm going to go pout by the pouting tree.
Is this the pouting pond? No, it's the crying tree. All right. You gotta have a good reason. That's actually the fourth rule of crying tree. Have a damn good reason.
How many rules are there of the crying tree? As long as it takes
many
us
as we need.
as many as we need.
Cut back to the beach. Saeed is packing up. Jen's son come over, and Jen's
I
like,
said no girls.
yeah, or Saeed.
Basically, no girls allowed.
I'm sorry if what I said was confusing, but I only
And
need,
misogynist.
yeah. But I only need Jen. And she's like, I don't give a fuck about any of that.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, you can go to the goddamn pouting pond.
My favorite was when she marches off, Jen just is like, shrugs. Like, what do you
He's
want
like,
to
yeah,
do?
man.
You want to tell her no? Fuck off, man. I'm not dealing with that. Not a chance.
She's like, you need a translator, so that's fucking me. Plus, you need two people to sail. And Saeed's like, yeah, well, Desmond sailed by himself. And she's
Exactly.
like, yeah, and he ended up right back here, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, look where he ended up. It was just, oh man, I was like, oh yeah, get him, girl.
So good.
Yeah.
Continuous on the beach. Desmond talks to Claire.
This is a useless scene.
Oh yeah, that's why. That's
Filler.
why I only wrote 4 things here. I think he's just drunk and he's like, "Look at that baby." Oh.
The writers were like, we have 42 minutes.
This has to be this. As James Leesky put, there's a very specific time they're supposed to hit. And
Yeah,
you gotta hit
at
it.
the time.
Claire's gonna jab Onion Head with the vaccine, and Desmond's like, "You don't have to do that. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Desmond's a vaccine denier.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
Cut to a flashback. Desmond is preparing to run the stairs. Desmond's just like getting ready to run, pulling his hair back, taking his pants off.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, okay, hold on. Let's stay on that thought for a minute.
Not enough pants, but it's fine.
And then Penny just rocks up.
He's like, how did you find me? She's like, I have money.
Yeah.
As long as you have money and determination, you can do anything. Like,
Yeah.
you can find anybody.
Yeah, she's like, you understand. I mean, like, we were getting married. You know how rich I am. Like,
Yeah.
And he was still just like, that still wasn't an answer. How did you find me?
It's weird. It's tense. Like, she's like, why didn't you write me? And he could have been like, I did. Your fucking dad took all my letters.
Yes, that was okay. That is
why didn't you say that?
7 out of 9 notes is the fact that at any point he could have just said like, oh, well, your dad's a huge asshole who actually took all my letters. In fact, I saw him, and you could actually ask him for all of them right there. Bing, bang, boom. There we go. Anyway,
it's a ton.
What else do you want to talk about?
It's a ton of them. It's a ton of letters.
It's all of them. There's so many.
You said I never wrote you. I actually wrote you a lot.
Yeah. Also, your dad's an idiot. He could have just burned all those letters. Yeah. And maybe even lie. Maybe you did get them. Maybe not. But I would just never know. Yeah. Drive me even crazier. But not only did he take them, they're still there. Yep. So you can see them. Go ahead and ask them. Yeah. Anything else that we can actually use our words to communicate about, or should I just be oddly quiet and screw myself over with this relationship that is so important to me? But I'm still not gonna defend myself or you against your asshole dad.
And she knows her dad's a cock. We just watched flashes before our eyes last week, which chronologically is after this one. But Penny knows her dad's a cock.
And it's I just wish I could tell her how I feel, but I can't. I have to go win this race around the world in a fucking sailing boat. That's how I'll express my emotions.
I can't say 3 words to you. I need my boat training right now with these stairs.
Okay, I haven't joined this pile-on because I actually disagree. I agree on the this is some bad communication. He could have said something. But because Penny is also engaged to somebody else. And so Desmond bringing up the letters wouldn't fix anything. It would make things way more complicated. He doesn't want to make it be well, I actually did send you letters, and now Penny's just oh, but I'm engaged to somebody else right now, and it's maybe this is just a ploy to say I did send you letters, and your dad's an asshole, and it's then she'd be put in a weird place, and he'd be put in a weird place of just am I trying to get you back? Because he even asked have you picked a date? It's clear that he's trying to move on because it's clear that it's not gonna happen. But it was just I'm gonna defend Desmond. Maybe it's a Scottish accent and I'm just really sympathetic to him.
I can understand why Desmond did it. I still won't defend the writers who decided at that point, because I feel you could also have both. Charles wasn't if you tell my daughter that I did this, I will kill you or whatever. Even at that point, it was just yeah, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. I'm Charles Whitmore. What are you going to do about it? You could emphasize the futility of it all.
Sure.
You, even after everything comes clean, it's I also understand that you have moved on and now I must move on.
Yes, but Brett, how would we get the shot of the single tear rolling down her cheek?
I don't know. Litter in front of her? Just like that one commercial?
That
Jesus.
Sheepers.
Yeah.
Jack, I think that you are absolutely correct in that. Honest to God, I forgot that there was a fiance. We have no visual image of this fiance to connect to.
What's his name? And is it the same name as your boat?
Yeah, it's Cynthia Watros.
It's David Elizabeth Sailboat.
Yeah. What's your fiance's boat's name?
John Fiance.
Yeah. But I think, especially in the episode where we learn more about Desmond and Penny's relationship, we know that Desmond has a self-esteem issue, and I think that he's really bad at communicating, his wants and feeling he's deserving of Penny.
There's a certain amount of ego and masculinity in it too. He closes the scene by saying I have to get my honor back, and so it's tied up in that weird honor. The pylon is easy to make watching it here in 2023,
almost 2 decades later,
right?
Yeah,
where people are more conscious of open communication.
I will say though that him being I'm doing this for my honor, I was okay, buddy, you lost me now. You had me for this entire scene, and then you pulled this shit. I was okay, cool, cool it with this macho bullshit.
Take it down 20%.
This is not you, my friend.
Yeah.
Cut to the beach. John Locke talks to Desmond. They talk about the button, and Locke explains to Desmond his experience at the Pearl Station. They found this other hatch. It had all these TV monitors. They were watching the Swan. He's this is all an experiment. It's not real, whatever. We're not free. We've got to stop Echo to be truly free of
the whatever. He gives them the tape. Tomorrow we're going to not push the button.
And then there's a quick cut to the jungle. The A-team is camping out. Michael has created a satellite crying tree, and he's getting one in, kind of.
A pop-up.
Yeah, just a pop-up crying tree. He's just like, no, I'm just getting some firewood. Jack is like, hey, man, what's going on? You know, he expresses his thanks, like, hey, I appreciate you guys sticking your neck out to save me and my son. Live together, die alone, man.
He said the thing, drink.
Drink. That's really all that happens there. We cut to the boat. The next morning, sun is throwing up over the side of the boat. I told you shouldn't have come. It's not seasickness. I know.
It's morning sickness. And then my favorite part of this episode.
They spot a four-toed statue.
Damn, all this and she got feet?
Kinda.
I don't know what's stranger, the fact that it's only a foot or that it's only got four toes.
Oh
this
my
Simpsons
God.
ass statue out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, at the hatch, Echo just sitting there at the computer. The power starts to flicker. So he goes to investigate.
Ooh.
While he sneaks away, Desmond and JL sneak in and simulate a lockout. Some blast doors trip, cutting off Echo from the computer room.
Yeah.
And Desmond and JL are in there now, and they've got 90 minutes-ish.
To just hang out.
Just chill.
He says, are you sure about this? He said, I'm more sure about this than anything in my entire life. God, the confidence of a white man, huh?
Of Tombstone's Terry O'Quinn. If only.
Cut to a flashback. Desmond's sailing. It's a pretty bad storm.
It's real bad.
He's preparing to abandon ship. He goes and grabs his book.
You should have run more.
He grabs his book. He grabs some other shit. And he washes up on the island. This is all like shot really discombobulated and distorted. Desmond gets dragged off to unknown location by some unknown folk, and then he wakes up in the hatch.
Yeah, because I thought he was getting pulled away by multiple people.
That's
like
what I
the
thought
way
too.
it was shot, but it's
just one
only
guy,
one
yeah.
person who's pulling him into the jungle.
There are very few things that I see that scream like mid-aughts more than like
Sure.
that special effects that they did.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, I was like, this is the aughts. Like this, I feel like I've seen this on other shows.
You can just hear the Limp Bizkit in the background.
The mysterious person in the yellow jumpsuit is none other than Kelvin Joe Inman from
Yeah.
Saeed episode we watched a while back. Played ably by Clancy Brown, the Kurgan.
Mr. Krabs.
Kurgan Krabs.
Kurgan Krabs.
Kurgan Krabs.
Lex Luthor, Kurgan Krabs.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he's like pushing the button, saving the world. Cut to a flashback. Desmond is watching the orientation film.
Right.
He's like, why does this have cuts in it? Kelvin's like, well, Radzinski, my old partner, made some edits. It's a fan edit.
Release the Radzinski cut.
Release the Radzinski cut. He's like, oh, hey, also you were out there for a while. Here's the fake vaccine that doesn't actually do anything. Please take this every 9 days for the next 3 years. Cut back to the hatch. Echo is trying to find a way in. He goes out the door that they originally came into the hatch from, the vertical tunnel. He climbs up because I gotta assume that the blast doors cut him off from the regular entrance, maybe. Otherwise, why else go out that way? He sees the quarantine hatch that had been blown off back at the end of season 1, and then follow him off to the beach. He needs help. Why not get Charlie?
I mean, you got time? What?
What's Frogurt up to? Oh,
Was
he's
there
busy.
no one else?
Right.
Was Bernard not available?
I need your help. Oh, we're friends again? Shut up.
I did love the whole like Charlie, do you know, because he's playing guitar, right?
Yeah.
So like the whole like, Charlie, do you know they got the hatch door out? They got the hatch door open.
I don't know.
And he's like, I don't know that one.
We can-
Whackity,
but
schmackity,
if you hum a few bars,
It's such a stupid joke, and I still laughed at
But
it.
it's probably the best. There's like two good lines in this one. One I remember, and honestly, it's the reason why I even wanted to like do this episode. This is the other one that I forgot about, but I was like, oh, it's so good.
It's like they were like, we didn't write a comic relief C plot in this, so let's just put in one joke.
Yeah.
I will say that we blew past it from the last scene, but like talking about with Locke and Desmond, when find out like, oh, what is this stick? Be like, oh, it's a scripture. And be like, oh, what does he have there? He's a priest. And then Desmond just goes, we locked out a priest?
Yeah.
Cut to the next scene. I was like, that's a great outline. Good job, guys. That's a good we looked at a priest? Good job.
And Adam, you're right. We don't have a funny C plot for this one. So they're like, what can we do? What if we blew up Charlie?
That's kind of funny, right?
That's pretty lighthearted, right?
Charlie, I guess, knows where they stashed the spare dynamite. That's why Echo needs Charlie. Cut to the jungle. The A-team is being followed.
Ooh.
Kate noticed 2 people across the river.
Kate's like, we're being followed. Sawyer's like, what? She's like, I'm going to start blasting in 5 seconds. And he goes, what? She goes, 3, 2, 1. And then just starts blasting.
So Kate and Sawyer switch brains real quick. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sawyer gets one of them.
Yeah.
The other one gets away, but they're like trying to like recombobulate after the attack. And this is where Jack is like, okay, so here's the thing. Michael's actually like a double agent. I couldn't tell you guys because then y'all would have acted weird, and I couldn't have y'all acting weird in front of him because then he would have known that I know. And this was all Saeed's idea. I apologize for not telling the truth.
I have to say, Jack is an exhausting character.
oh, yeah.
I am
much
exhausted by every choice he makes.
I feel like when it became Team Jack versus Team Locke, very much like it doesn't have to be a 2-party system. Guys. Like,
right.
There's got to be another way.
Team Frogert.
There has to be another option.
The scene itself is tense, despite the fact that, all of this could have been like circumvented by Jack just being like open before they, whatever. I guess hindsight, I would have did things differently. But then again, I'm not a drunk neurosurgeon or
Stuck
whatever.
on the island.
And you're not being written by Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse.
Yeah, so.
Also, Hurley, of course, breaking everyone's heart.
Oh, God.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, we were having a good time just dunking on Jack / Michael / everyone except Hurley. And then Hurley has to remind us, like, oh, no. You made Hurley sad.
Because he says, so you killed him. And Michael's like, it was an accident. I had time to think. And then Hurley's like, but if you would have thought about it, you would have still did it.
Right.
That's gross. And there's a note in the trivia section in Lostpedia where they wanted to write it so that when Hurley was like, I'm out, I'm not helping you, they were going to write it so that Sawyer was like, yeah, this is fucking stupid. And Sawyer was going to go with Hurley and go back. That like he was going to join. They ran out of time to write it like that, apparently.
For like 2 other lines? What?
Well, yeah, when you start writing the script on Sunday night and it's due, Monday morning.
Right. Well, we really needed that Desmond and Claire scene talking
With
about
the vaccine.
vaccines that don't matter. Listen, I don't want to derail this too much, but I'm gonna. Was Michael in the right murdering 2 people? Of course not. Wrong. Full stop. Wrong.
Yeah, bad.
However, Walt goes missing every chance he is on screen. He says, hey, what about Walt? What about Walt? When are we going to go find my son? And everybody's like, yeah. After we get these other 12 side quests done.
There's another thing here, too, where, like, Michael gets snatched by the others, and the others are like, go back to camp, bring us these 4 people. Don't tell them that you're working for us. I know that they, like, convinced him that they, like, are observing him all the time or whatever, but this was another thing where Michael could have been like, the others want me to bring the 4 of you over. And, like, maybe, again, if there was some more transparency with what was happening, maybe this could have went better, and he wouldn't have shot fucking Ana Lucia and Libby.
There's a lot of, like, no one ever thinks about a third option. At least a third option.
Yeah. Like, why? Yeah, like, let's keep, no idea is a bad idea. Let's just keep workshopping this.
I know. I give credit, and I'm not expecting Michael to be like, hey, guys, do you have time to talk shop a bit?
But they do.
Got a bit of a sitch.
They do have time. A lot of times, like, they always act like they always act like they're in some sort of big fucking hurry, but, like, a lot of times they have time.
It's part of the frustration of, like, this show and, like, other, like, mystery box shows. Part of the suspense is that people are just bad communicators, and not just like sitcom bad, like they are worse than sitcom bad communicators. Like, you have to basically have just the inability to tell anybody anything about what's happening in your life. There's just levels of frustration with that, where it's just like, oh my God, if you just had a fucking conversation and you could still maintain the suspense.
There are ways to increase or keep the tension in the show besides, like, lying to each other.
Yeah.
There are ways to do that. Like,
yeah.
So we cut back to the boat. Saeed is doing his morning or midday prayers, I guess. And Jin spots the rock that Michael pointed out. And this is the spot. This is like, we're here. And that's the end of the episode.
What the hell? Okay. The scene we just left with our A-team is so tense and so emotional. Yeah. And that's the perfect place to end an episode. But they're like, oh, hey, we're sailing and there's a rock.
Really banking on the part 2. As far as like, yada, yada.
The fact that these episodes aired on the same night are doing most of the heavy lifting in this quote-unquote cliffhanger. Yeah.
Yes.
But I guess, and this is another bit from the Lostpedia trivia page, it had been cut into 2 episodes for streaming for the DVD release for like a bunch of other things. Like there was only one like home video option where it actually got the movie edit where it didn't end here and it just rolled.
Oh.
But again, when it was originally broadcast that night, yes, it was 2 distinct episodes.
That makes me think of the time when I was in Germany. I was on a like exchange program in high school, no big deal. And I went to go see Pirates of the Caribbean 3. Fun fact, in Germany, if you are watching a movie and it's over a certain length, they just insert an intermission at like the halfway point. Doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
That's just where it's going to be.
Nice.
And that's
So
what
it's
this
not even
felt
at
like.
halfway.
No, it's like exactly halfway, but
Okay.
it doesn't.
Like mid-scene.
Like-
Yeah, like a mid
No,
sentence.
honestly, it was like, sure, they'll pick like a scene, but it was like,
That's a weird
place to cut. Like literally a scene had just started. We were like maybe a minute into the scene, and then it was like cut, lights come up. I'm like, that cannot be the end of the movie.
You must now stand up.
but that's kind of what this was that
Yeah.
it's like, if this is the cut for the episode, it's just like, it's not like a great place to end
That's
it.
fucking stupid. That would be really stupid if we did that in this episode of Lost on Lost.
Do you ever feel sometimes like there's a weight on your shoulders? Do you ever feel the insurmounting weight of the inevitable inertia of time pressing against you? Have you ever incorrectly lifted a box spring mattress? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you need to try new Lost on Lost back medicine. Yes, the same back medicine taste you love, now with 30% more back-enriching nutrients. Our patented formula is the only back medicine on the market that's made from 100% pure Detective Frank Columbo ditchweed. It's the only back medicine on the market approved by the Dharma Initiative. So when you're in your 30s and have a hurdy back, remember to turn to back medicine. Now, back to the show.
All right, so welcome back from whatever we put there. Part 2, Live Together, Die Alone. Echo and Charlie are out in the jungle and they locate the dynamite stash.
Really out in the open in hindsight.
When they left the beach, I was like, oh, fuck, they're not going to go back to the Black Rock, are they? Because that's like fucking ways away. So I was very excited that they just put some of the dynamite that's like incredibly volatile in like a dirty old t-shirt under some leaves.
That's how you store dynamite.
Yeah.
Please don't Google. That's correct.
They bring the dynamite back to the thing. Desmond's like, don't worry about it. That shit ain't gonna work.
Yeah, Charlie's trying to like, hey, let's talk about this. Like, we should really open the door. By the way, Mr. Echo has explosives.
And he means it.
Yeah. He is not effing around out here, you guys.
I don't know if you understand. The priest wants to blow you up.
Bad.
Do you guys realize how much you have fucked up?
Yes. But yeah, Desmond's not sweating it. He's like, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Cut to a flashback right away. Desmond and Kelvin are working on the blast door painting / map.
It went back to a flashback, but it didn't use the flashback sound.
Yeah, I got a little confused because of the lack of flashback sound. Only briefly.
I feel like early on, like if you're watching it in real time, that would have messed with someone so hard.
Oh,
as far
absolutely.
As, like, with all their theories and stuff, suddenly all their time theories are like out the window. Now, like, what does it mean?
There was no noise here.
There was no noise.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like they have to wait until like the next convention where they can actually address it. And it's like, oh yeah, the sound guy fucked up.
Yeah, we didn't put it in the mix. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the previous scene, and we just forgot.
I mean, we just got the script like 12 hours beforehand, so you know.
Yeah, we had to edit 23 hours of television. We forgot one music cue. I'm sorry.
So like the blast door map, we saw this in John Lockdown. They're painting on the wall with laundry detergent. It's a real dope thing that you can do for like raves and shit.
Okay, but I need you to explain what this map was, because I have no context for the map.
Don't worry about it.
A, I don't know, and B, I don't know if they're ever going to tell me
What the map is for?
They're just making an invisible map.
Why not?
For mapping.
I feel very gaslit right now. I feel very lied to. Are you lying to me that you don't know what this is for?
No, we have no idea.
No, we really don't. Not really. In fact, the only reason we know it's a blast door map is because that's what they call it on Lostpedia.
Oh my God.
When I first called it the blast door map, when we were talking about it in John Lockdown, JP, I think you were like, blast door mural? Because there are certain things you need on a map for it to be a map.
Right.
Like a compass, rose, like a sense of direction, like indicate
legend.
north. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without that, it's just your drawing. So blast door drawing?
Was this just like a red herring thing?
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or was this just like a plot point they forgot about?
Yes.
Little column A, little column B.
Oh my
It hypothetically shows the positions of the other Dharma stations on the island, is what it's supposed to be a representation of. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if they ever really get too explicit about it.
I'm mad for everybody who watched this when it originally aired.
But listen, people love surprises. People love mysteries. So for all of you that live in apartments, go get some detergent or some blacklight paint and draw something esoteric on a wall before you move out. So then the next people have something really fun and interesting to talk about when they find it.
I'm just going to write on my wall, like, if you think this is weird, don't go in the bedroom with this light.
And then that one, you just splatter paint the walls.
Yeah.
All of them.
It's the shape of feet, like me standing. Desmond's just like, you're telling me that this was the blast door map, which nobody knows about, is Radzinski's idea. Why don't we ever talk about Radzinski? And he's like, you want to know about Radzinski? There's Radzinski. That fucking stain on the ceiling is Radzinski. He fucking shot himself with a shotgun while I was asleep. Fucking ridiculous. Eventually, he's like, it's clear that Kelvin regrets joining the Dharma Initiative.
Right.
And
more like the dumb.
Nice.
Got him.
Fucking
That's
chalk
what
it up.
That's what he was writing. That's what he was writing in Black or like
More
on
like
church.
Dharma
Like
Initiative.
they'll never know I called this.
That's why they're hiding it.
Yeah.
Because they
Drawing a bunch of dick butts
Yeah.
on
Like
the
a
wall.
dick butt initiative.
Oh man, I have so much Photoshop I have to do now for this goddamn episode.
Dick Butt Initiative. I love it. He's not going to let Desmond leave. Desmond's like, I've been here for fucking years. Let me out. I want to go out and do the thing you're doing. I have no idea what you're doing outside. Just let me go outside. I'd love to go outside. I've been inside for 2 years.
Part of that.
And he's like, yeah, no, you're the guy that pushes the button. I'm the guy that goes outside. And this is why you got kicked out of the army, because you couldn't follow orders.
Cut to the hatch.
Charlie, he's like, hey, maybe Locke's right. Maybe this whole thing is bogus. And Echo rips off Charlie's belt and throws it against the wall, and it
Oh my god,
sticks.
that was so funny. That was so funny. I was like, the actual physics of this make no sense, but sure.
This shit is real. Magnets.
Magnets.
That's the proof. The proof is magnets.
Finally, we know how they work.
So, yeah. After so much wondering.
I think for me, it was the journey that Charlie's belt took to get to the wall.
Yeah.
That was exceptionally funny. Like Echo threw it from a very, very long distance to the wall, and I feel like it also hooked around like a corner,
Kinda, yeah.
as well. I was like, this
A little
is
heat seeky.
Yeah.
man. It's like not only is it magnets, but there is something else going on here.
Yeah.
And it's whatever Damon wants it to be.
Right.
Damon.
Charlie's like, maybe this is a bad idea, Echo. He continues, I tend to agree with him. This is like a concrete hallway dug in bedrock, not the place to set off explosions.
Not with a 10-second fuse, man. Light a cigarette on the other end. Give yourself a couple of minutes. You know what I
go
mean?
outside. Don't deafen yourselves.
Or just turn the corner.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, Echo's like, nah, fuck that. We're blowing this door open. We got the dynamite. Like, let's just fucking do it. And he lights it. And Charlie's like,
I like. Well, it's a sunk cost fallacy. Like,
Right.
I already have the dynamite.
we already went.
We can't
Already
just
here.
Can't just put it back.
If we don't do it, we wasted the 20 minutes it took us to find it. Charlie.
Echo's like, there are minutes of me talking to you that I will never get back. So like,
I have to make those
we
count.
have to do this.
Yeah.
I did not want to talk to you.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, fuck it. And blows themselves up.
Yep. Lost card comes through. We cut to a flashback. Desmond wakes up to the alarm going off.
Yeah.
Meep, meep, whatever. He goes in there. He punches it in real quick. It's all good. There's a door to the crawl space open in the computer room. He can hear Kelvin down there making some noise. So he goes to check him out. Kelvin's down there just hammered.
Just
Having a good time. Saturdays for the boys.
Boys are back in town.
He's got this key. This is the answer to the button. Everybody on the island's like, what is up with the button? People at home are like, what's up with the button? And Kelvin's like,
Drunk old Kelvin knows.
yeah, it's some sort of weird electromagnetic experiment. If we press this button every 108 minutes, it discharges this buildup and everything's fine.
Yeah,
That's
magnet farts.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
yeah.
Magnet farts.
Exactly. We fart the magnet every once in a while, and it's all good.
You feel like you should have really should have leaned like Kelvin doesn't know science. I wish there was just like oh no, only this idiot knows what's happening. Just get all Steve Brule about like, oh, the magnet.
So now we know. Lost mystery solved. This is why the button does what it does. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the key will like pitch the experiment. Like if we turn the key, the experiment's over. We can't do it anymore.
Can I out myself as like really loving this whole like, oh, we have to put it in because it's like, oh, there's this big static discharge, so we have to like do it. I actually really liked all of it.
No, honestly, I was sitting there. I was like very entertained by this scene. Like I like Clancy Brown a lot. I like Henry Eaton Cusick a lot. To sit there and just watch them be like, hey, this is the fucking, like, people at home are wondering what the, here's a fucking answer for y'all.
This was my favorite Samuel Beckett play in this part.
Yeah.
It's so weird because we actually got some answers to questions and we're like, oh, I don't know what that feels like in this show normally.
I feel like I did have questions, like, about the whole thing, but like I was curious, but I didn't necessarily have like actual questions forming in my head.
It was a sense of curiosity as opposed to like a hard question to ask.
Yeah, it was more like, we have to do this because it discharges static, just the static that builds up. And then you just kind of pause and go, say more.
Yeah, say
like
more.
That's that's really what it is. It's like, say more. I don't have any specific questions. Just say more. Keep talking.
Come back to the hatch. Desmond wants to open the door. Between what Charlie said, what Echo said, like he's like thinking like at first he was on board with Locke's like this is all fake, we just fucking like blow it. Desmond just starting to second guess it a little bit. Locke gives him a little spiel about destiny, and for the first time since Boone's death, seems to express actual real remorse about his role in Boone's death.
Yeah.
Which I kind of liked.
There's this whole parallel about like, oh, is that why you want to do this? You want to look down the barrel of a gun? And like, he's like, oh, you want to talk about fucking looking down the barrel of a gun? I went all in on this fucking island and this hatch. Again, he forgets that he's like walking after being bound to a wheelchair, but he's like, I don't believe in that shit anymore. I was sitting there banging on the hatch door and then a light went on and I really believed that was it, but it's probably just you taking a dump, just like he's trauma dumping onto Desmond right now. It's like I was all in on this and now I truly believe that I was fooled and that this isn't anything. So we just need to let the clock run out so I can prove it to myself that I'm not being taken advantage of anymore.
Sunk cost fallacy, baby.
Yeah.
Cut to the boat. Saeed makes his way onto shore and he scouts the others' village. It's empty. It's just a bunch of yurts, tents, or whatever.
We love yurts.
Love a good yurt.
Gotta love a yurt, right? Saeed spots the others' hatch, the one with the rectangle on it. This hatch I called it the rectangle. I think it's called the door on Lostpedia. It's
kind of like rectangle more, honestly.
Yeah. But it's a dummy. He opens it, and there ain't shit behind it. It is a wall.
Wild.
Tricked. Prank him, John.
You already know.
Saeed's confused. Join the fucking club. Cut to the jungle. The A-team, they find the pneumatic tube dump.
I could not figure out what those were. I was like, what the? Is that Funko Pops? What the fuck did they just find a big pile of?
It just feels like it.
I got so excited because I love those like pneumatic tube capsules. Because they only really exist at like banks and credit unions. Like, I love them.
So it's so cool.
Seeing them literally out in the wild. Like, oh boy, look at all this cool litter.
They're so satisfying.
So many of them. There are so many tubes there. Just huge piles.
I just wanted to see one just
just
like goes up. It's like because it was like candy cane, right? Like boom, loops back down.
Okay, but like the other option would be like at an angle, and so it would just launch it into the jungle,
like a t-shirt cannon.
Especially if they saw the pile first, like what the hell is this? And suddenly like incoming, and like
it's like shh. What is that noise?
Shoots the Hurley bird out of the sky.
Hurley. That bird say my name?
Or they find the pipe and they're like, what is this random pipe sticking out of the ground? And then they hear something like, oh, what the fuck is that noise? Oh, it's something like and then they just see the capsule coming and it launches through the air and they're like, where the fuck? And then they look down off the cliff and it's just like a huge pile.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rewrite Lost.
Yeah, there was a lot of good opportunities here for something better than just like a couple of random piles of plastic garbage.
I actually got really sad when I saw that pile of capsules because it's like they're sending these notes out to literally nobody, and nobody cares.
Like it's not even to a building.
Very short-sighted as far as just like just dump it wherever because I guess theoretically they could have been found out and be like, hey, what the fuck?
The big takeaway is that the pearl where these tubes are coming from is the experiment, not the swan. The discussion that they're having at the hatch and whatever.
Right.
the Pearl's the experiment. How long can you make two guys watch 9 TVs of two people at a real place where a real thing with magnets is happening? How long can you make them look at this? But yeah, if this is an experiment, yeah, just like recycle the tubes. You don't need thousands and thousands of tubes. Like, just go pick them up, empty them out, bring them back to the Pearl and be like, hey, we got you some new tubes. They see Saeed's signal fire.
Yeah.
There's a column of black smoke. Classic way to communicate on the island. Jack's like, what the fuck? We were supposed to be heading toward that. That's way over there. Michael, where are you taking us? He's like, they told me to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Now it's my turn to lie badly.
Darts.
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 Which, like, love the timing of that.
Oh.
Like, Michael's fucking up. We gotta go.
Darts. Yeah.
Sawyer gets darted, starts to freak out and twitch, and it's bad. So like they're like, scatter.
More darts.
Yeah, Kate gets darted. Jack picks her up. It's like, dude, you know you're gonna get darted, and he gets darted.
But you know, it's Jack, so it's like still got proof. Yeah. Like, yeah, I got darted, but like I lasted longer than everybody.
Yeah, like Sawyer went down right away. I was able to walk a little bit with Kate on my back. Still.
Did Hurley get darted?
You got.
I don't think so.
Or was he just like, man, all right?
Yeah,
they're just like,
yeah, he didn't run, so they didn't dart him, and then they come in the stand. It's like, oh, yeah, all right, and then you just
yeah.
Or they tried to dart him and just got tangled in his hair, and it's just like, I'm sorry, what? Like,
yeah.
Or it's the fact they killed him. Was like, oh, I'm sorry, but like, yeah, it's like, you didn't even try to dart me.
You didn't even try to dart me. It's like, well, run.
We know you're the nice one.
Yeah.
They hand it to him. You're like, you want to dart yourself? He's like, no, not anymore.
No. It's not the same.
Cut to the hatch. Desmond and John are arguing about the real experiment. We've gotten the proof. They're having this discussion. Locke tells him, you know, we saw the tubes. We saw all this weird shit. There was a printout. There's a computer.
Yeah.
Here's the printout. And Desmond's like, give me that shit. And he starts like flipping through it, whatever. Things are getting tense between the two of them.
Right.
Desmond still is unable to like convince John to press the button. But now if Desmond's got something else to focus on, he's looking for something in this printout.
Whatever.
Cut to a flashback. Kelvin's getting ready to bail. Desmond's shaving. Kelvin's like, hey man, goodbye.
What?
And Desmond's like, wait, what? Yeah, he's like,
that's some
goodbye.
wild shit for you to say, my guy.
Goodbye. I will see you in 2 hours. Okay, dude, like, why did you do that? You just say, hey, I'll see you. Don't say goodbye. Say, I'll see you. I'll be back in a couple hours. Like normal.
Time to do normal routine things.
Yep. Just going about my normal shit. Dude.
My name's Kelvin. I'm going to be normal. Love to do normal things.
Look at how nonchalant he is. It's so awesome.
It's just the gif of the Saperstein siblings just being, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
That's a good Mr. Krabs thing.
It's very, oh man.
It's just like it.
Hold on. How much is he on Cameo? Hold up.
And the big thing is that Desmond spots a big tear in Kelvin's suit in the leg. So it's like, okay, the suit's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's not real concerned with like making sure that it's an airtight system. So something's up.
In so many ways, yeah.
Right, because he steps outside and you can actually see like his chin sticking out
Yeah.
underneath the gas mask.
Yeah.
See, at first when I saw the tear, I was like, I mean, I'm smart.
Mhm.
I knew that there was no like infection outside.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like, oh, maybe it's something else.
Yeah, maybe it's like.
But it was like, but I feel like I was like really in like Desmond's head of just like, oh, there's a tear in his suit. He's gonna go out and he's gonna die.
Right, I gotta tell him or something. Like,
do I tell him or do I don't? And why do I not want to tell him?
Yeah.
Why won't he let me outside?
But if he dies, then I get to go outside. But if he goes out, if he
dies outside, and outside's dangerous.
Then I go outside, then I die.
That's the conversation that my cat has about why I won't let the cat go outside. You know, it's a similar.
Yes.
You know, I'm just like, you can't go outside. It's too dangerous.
But you go outside.
I'm bigger than you.
Without a gas mask.
Yeah. Which Desmond's like, well, I'm going to put a bandana over my face and I'll probably be fine. I'm going to follow him. Desmond follows him at a comically short distance.
As people do on this show.
Yeah. All that was missing was like, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. And they head out toward some rocky cove. The Elizabeth is still seaworthy. Not quite ready to sail. Still got about a week's worth of work left. But yeah, Kelvin's like, I was a spook for 10 years. I know when I'm being followed. You want to come along? Yeah, Jack, you have a question.
What's a spook?
Like a CIA dude.
Spy.
Or like intelligence. Yeah, like.
So not technically military, but like, again, to your point. Like,
and not an actual ghost, like ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. But yeah, not yet a ghost. Because
Not yet a woman.
I hate this. My brain went to that too.
Des was like, I can't believe you fucking made me stay in this hole so long when the boat was right there. I could have helped you. We could have got out of here.
Yeah, he's like, why did you lie to me? And he's like, because I needed a sucker to save the world while I dip out. That's such a dick move.
Sorry, this took me a second, but not yet a ghost, not yet a phantom.
I like that.
Number of
I like that.
syllables.
You go with that.
We'll make that the episode
work-
title.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it. I'll be like, why are we talking about ghosts? Just give it a second, buddy.
Or at this point, it's like, when are they going to talk about ghosts?
Speaking of busting makes me feel good, they fight and he busts his head open on a rock.
That's true.
He cracks his grape right open. Sorry, Kelvin. Thanks for coming out.
Rip.
So unceremonious, too. Just
bummer.
whoop.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have 108 minutes to bury him because he's got to hustle back because time is ticking. The clock is ticking here. Somebody's got to push the button, and so
One could say the clock has ticked.
nice.
By the time he gets there,
Yeah, it's going off.
The tick
Like
has talked.
it's going buck
the
wild.
tick has
Yeah.
talked. Exactly. It's the sirens going. The hieroglyphs are there. Everything's shaking.
The magnet's doing its thing.
The magnets.
Like,
Yep.
They are
Getting-
working.
Yeah.
They are definitely working.
And the computer's just like system failure, system failure, system failure. He's trying to type in the numbers. He types them in, but it works. He despite the fact that the clock rolled over, entering the button still worked. The magnet farts. Everything's fine. Cut back to the hatch. Desmond is reading the printout that John gave him.
This is where some of the logic of the episode breaks down. for
Oh,
me.
right here.
Some of it.
Some of it.
We were
It-
good up until right here.
You were good up until this point. Yeah.
Okay. Desmond knows what happens when the clock runs out.
Yeah.
He understands how bad this is going to be,
Sure.
Right.
and yet
Mm.
he agrees to Locke's plan. For what?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of him agreeing? Because he knows what happens. And so I just don't understand the motive between him
Sure.
saying yes to Locke's plan and being like, oh yeah, and I know that like the whole island is gonna explode.
Yeah. Like when Locke was like, I think the button doesn't do anything. Why Desmond didn't be like, well, there's this one time that I pushed the button late and shit popped off.
Yeah.
Like,
the
why didn't
whole
you-
place was about to explode.
And
Like,
doesn't think to share that.
To-
Like
Right.
Yeah, it's
right.
a little weird.
Yeah.
just the fact that he's like, oh yeah, of course it doesn't do anything. And it's like,
Absolutely.
bitch, you were there when it
Yeah.
was doing something. What are you saying? This is another instance where they're using lack of communication as like ooh, we're gonna
Yeah.
keep the mystery
Yeah.
alive. And it's like, no, this now doesn't make any sense why he wouldn't bring this up when he was fucking there.
Mm.
Like
That is that's a hard thing to forget.
Yeah.
And it's not like he got concussed or anything
Right.
to like have memory loss.
Yeah.
Like he's so traumatized by that he's like poring over these sheets
Mhm.
to find the one time there was the system
Mhm.
failure
Mhm.
because he's like, I remember what that felt like. I have to see this.
Mm.
So if he didn't give a shit that it was like a system failure, okay, I put it in, I fixed it, he wouldn't feel the need
Sure.
to check those sheets.
Could it have been, this doesn't excuse it or, explain it per se, but like, could it have been as simple, do you think, as like, he just had like that fit of drunken nihilism? Like,
Maybe.
and then like he finally sobered up and was just
maybe.
like,
No.
hey, maybe, because I think if anything, you could have had a moment where like this whole two-parter is about how he just has lost everything. He
Yeah.
has nothing to go for.
Yeah.
It's all a sham. Now he is staring at the barrel of a gun.
Right.
And he's like, maybe it's not a good idea
Yeah.
to do that to me and everyone else involved on
Right.
on the island.
Doing that next step of evolution in the lifespan of a nihilist into absurdism. It's like, okay, yeah, the button is this Sisyphean rock up the hill task.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking do it anyway. What else are we doing?
Yeah,
like,
it's like what? Well, I don't have to like roll the rock. Like, yeah, but like if you don't, then it's like if someone was behind, if a whole bunch of people were behind
Right.
Sisyphus,
yeah,
that
it's like,
rock's just going to demolish them.
Right.
If you
So-
don't pull it.
So let's just keep pushing it. Fucking yeah.
Yeah.
He finds in the printout the date of the crash. It was the same day that he got to the button late. He thinks it is pretty likely that the electromagnetic buildup was what caused 815 to crash in the first place, bringing the middle section survivors to the island.
Which is interesting. I like that.
I loved that
Yeah.
explanation,
Yeah.
actually.
I think I crashed
really
your plane.
loved that.
Yeah. My bad. Sorry, brother.
We cut to what we find out a little bit later is a place called Paula Ferry. But yeah, Pier. Alex, Ms. Clue, Tom, and Pickett are holding the A-team hostage.
Classic Tom.
Yeah, they got him gagged. They've got him tied up. They're at this thing. Michael's with them because this was all part of his thing. And Kate's like, I know your beard is fake. So Tom's like, my beard is so itchy.
What was the point of that exchange?
I think from a production standpoint, I think it's so that we don't have to make MC Gainey wear a fake beard anymore. That's what I think.
But why was he wearing a fake beard?
Because they're trying to give the impression that there's some sort of weird outcast hillbillies, this subterfuge to keep the survivors guessing or whatever. But yeah, it's a weird subterfuge.
Okay, but like not all hillbillies have beards. Like why couldn't he have just not had a beard?
Not even the other dudes with him have fake. Like none of the other guys are wearing fake beard.
He won the chance to have the beard.
Yeah,
because it was like, well, if everyone has a beard, then they're gonna get suspicious. But if I'm the beard guy, then it's unsuspecting.
Unnecessary subterfuge.
What if their subterfuge was just a really big trench coat? Right, and they stood on each other's shoulders.
12 people in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Honestly, at certain points with this, that's more believable.
A little boat comes puttering up, and
hey, what's the boat's name?
David
Putter.
David Tugboat.
David Tugs.
It's Benry. He's like, I brought the boat.
I forgot how much I appreciated Ben being so imposing despite being not the biggest
little little guy.
being a little guy.
Yeah.
He goes up to Tom and Tom's like, no.
Yeah, because he's like, where is your beard?
I'm sorry, I lost my
literally
beard.
Looking up to Tom, being like, where is your beard? Like, I'm sorry.
I think they figured out my
They
beard.
figured it out.
Yeah.
Don't hurt.
It's very like Pinky in the Brain sort of moment.
Cut to the hatch. Charlie is deaf now.
Yeah, if they're gonna do that for this, they have to do that after every time somebody fires a gun without earplugs.
Desmond wants to push the button. He's like, let's push the button. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it. Fuck you, John. I'm doing it. And Locke smashes the computer.
He finally gets his smash.
Yeah, smash it.
Do you feel better? Better, John?
Looks like you need to hit something. We can find you something appropriate to hit.
Yeah.
Cut to a flashback. Desmond is getting drunk and thinking about killing himself. He's got his book out. He's going to read the book because it's time. He wanted to read it before he dies. He's thinking about killing himself, whatever. He opens the book, and it's got a letter from Penny that apparently he's never read before. We get her in voiceover. You're going to find this letter in a time of incredible desperation. She starts crying. It's all very, very sweet. She loves him. He freaks out. He throws stuff off the shelves. He's freaking out. He's crying. He's despondent. And that's when he hears the banging on the hatch. This is that moment back in day 40, whatever, where John pounds on the thing. Why isn't this working? I did everything you wanted. Dude.
In this moment of desperation, Desmond's like about to kill himself, right? And he's so down in the dumps. He trashes all the books, which that actually looks kind of cathartic. But he turns on the light after he hears Locke banging on the door, and he's like so happy, right? Because he's like, there's another person. Why not open the hatch door then?
Yeah. Why wait for them to make their way in? Why not
what little we've seen of the beginning of season 2, I think it is, when they first enter the hatch, it seems like it's a very hostile situation. If you're like, oh man, there's that person, let me climb up the ladder and maybe see who it is. I don't know. But he's just like, there's another person. I'm gonna go back to drinking.
Yeah. At least I'm not alone. And then continues to be alone until they actually make it.
I'm not alone unless.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he does go up the hatch. We just don't see that scene. But at that point, Locke is gone.
Sure.
Right. We don't know.
That could have led to him just going from happy about it to oh, now I'm scared again.
Yeah.
I'm because my new friend is now not here. Maybe the new friend's a threat, and just sleep deprived or not, just cycling through
paranoid,
a whole lot of emotions.
A lot of stuff going on. I mean, he's going through it. Desmond, we see Desmond go through more than fucking most people on this show. It's almost like he might end up being important later on.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm delirious. I haven't slept in 108 minutes.
107.
So yeah, we come back to the hatch. Desmond's like, I'm gonna grab the key. the computer smash. This is the only out now. This is why they call it the failsafe key. If the computer smash, we've still got it out. I'm gonna blow the dam. Charlie's like, help me carry Echo. He's like, don't. No. I'm not worried about that shit.
Yeah.
Key time.
Ruthless prioritization.
Yes.
Okay, like you'll thank me.
Yeah. He grabs the key and he heads for the crawl space, jams the thing in. I love you, Penny.
At this point, when talking to Locke, was the other line that I remembered for like
years,
almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll see, which is funny because I misremembered it. I thought he said, I'll see you on the other side, brother.
Oh.
But it actually is, I'll see you in another life.
Yep.
Little nitpicky, but that is what I remember. That honestly, that moment and like is why I wanted to do this episode in the first place.
I'm so fascinated with what we know about Desmond after this, with him becoming unstuck from time. He does kind of see him in another life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so good.
Whether or not he actually knew what he was talking about, because then it's so like, did this Desmond know, even subconsciously?
Right, because we just watched Flash before your eyes, just in our previous episode of Lost on Lost. So we find out later, sometime in season 3, turning the failsafe key did send him through a whole thing.
Spoilers.
Sorry. It also, FYI, removed all of Desmond's clothes, and there is a section of post failsafe key where he's nude.
Now
for a while.
Now we're talking.
It's one of them good spoilers.
Is this when Lost made the jump to HBO?
I wish. We see places around the island after the key turns. The sky turns purple.
Okay, it does not turn purple.
No. It did not turn purple.
The sky turns purple. Everybody.
Are you colorblind? It did not change any sort of color.
Everybody.
You have to calibrate your TV. Folks?
Everybody on the island refers to this moment as the time the sky turned purple.
The purple.
Yeah, in which they're all stupid because it didn't.
It just got overexposed.
I'm speaking in the parlance of our times. The sky turns purple. Across the island, I would have been like, the thing that would have stuck out to me would have been the noise.
Right.
That would have been like, do you remember that really weird noise? Holy shit.
But that's so hard to describe because then like no one could agree on like the onomatopoeia of the noise.
Like,
remember the brrr?
Remember the no, it wasn't a brum. It was like
yeah. But it felt like a brrr.
I would love to see that conversation though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I am going to pull all of those noises you guys just made and put them over that scene. So if you want to make any additional noises,
choose your effect.
Hurley.
Do you remember when the fucking sky turned purple and it sounded like Los Lonely Boys? What the fuck are we talking about?
Everybody around the island sees the sky change color.
And drop
the beat.
And the beat drops. And everybody's got to be real confused.
It's a dubstep song.
You guys remember when Skrillex played?
Remember, this is mid 2000s, so it's Jonathan Davis like him and David Disturbed. I forget his name. Wow,
David Disturbed.
I remember his first name.
We eventually land on the beach. Charlie comes wandering in. He still has tinnitus.
Got them tennis ears. Well, I mean, a great time for it.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't hear the thing because I was still deaf from that.
I'm already going through. Like, I'm ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Claire's like, where are Locke and Echo? And he's like, they're not back yet? And I'm like, what makes you think they're alive?
My brother in Christ, he was dead. You left him there. You were trying to get people to help you carry Echo's unconscious body out of the thing. Why isn't he with you?
Yeah, also very dismissive once he finds out they're not back. He's like, whatever.
Weird.
Anyway,
my ears hurt.
Do you know where they were? Maybe,
yeah. Come back to the ferry. Ben gives Michael the instructions on how to get off the island. Follow this heading.
It feels very like a betrayal's about to happen. Like, as soon as I turn my back, you're gonna shoot me, right? Like,
the boat's gonna blow up. I was just waiting for the boat to blow up, but like this is a pre-Breaking Bad Game of Thrones. I know this was like Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire's big thing. Is like, what if main characters actually die?
Sure,
you know?
right?
But like then people taking that to the extreme already. Like, yeah, what if just like everyone died?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it was before that time.
Yeah, that's true. Because
otherwise, this totally would have been like, and Michael and Walt dead.
The boat would have got 500 yards off the pier, and everybody would have saw it.
And Linus, and old Benji was like, boop, boom.
Done.
No, or they just would have just given him a fake bearing and sent him out into the Pacific Ocean until they ran out of gas.
Mike's like, I'm not stupid. Where's my son? He's like, he's in the boat, like right there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my bad.
He said something to the effect of like, I'm a man of my word or whatever. We got more than we bargained for when Walt joined us. It's like, what was going on with Walt's weird dead zone powers or whatever?
I also really appreciate this is like their big workaround of like, okay, child actors can only be on set for so long. If Walt just like goes missing, we can get a lot more done.
It's not only a workaround about child labor laws in Hollywood, but it is also a workaround for the fact that
children are boring on screen.
No, that the actor Malcolm David Kelly is growing like a fucking weed.
Oh, I bet.
There's between
man.
day one of the show, the pilot, and this point in his life, it's been 2 years, and he's a child.
Dad.
It's been 60 days on the island, so they're like trying to explain why in the past 2 months, Walt's grown like the actor grew like almost a literal foot. They had
to be fair, it's also they have already set it up to be an island where
things are weird.
A handicapped person can be upright again. So like accelerated growth.
Yeah.
What if this was also the M. Night Shyamalan old island?
And now he's just getting old.
Yeah. What if this is where Shyamalan got the idea?
What if it's also the Muppet Treasure Island?
What?
So they write Walt and Michael out.
Bye.
Thanks for coming by, guys. We're also going to kill Echo very soon into season 3. We're just writing off our black characters.
Mid-2000.
Yay.
Yeah.
We love it.
Also, just want to shout out and give a moment of appreciation to the stares that Michael and the A-Team have with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just like he simultaneously had a stare that was like, ugh, and also, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate this for you, but I can't be fucked to worry about it.
But also, you guys wouldn't help me find my fucking son. So like,
Yeah, wheel never stops turning.
Gray area, motherfucker.
They tell Hurley that it's his job now to go back to camp and tell everybody to fuck off, stay on the beach. Yeah. It's like, really? You dragged my ass all the way out here for that? All right, your friends are coming with us. You go back to camp.
Go back. He obviously doesn't want to. He doesn't want to abandon his friends, but Jack gives him a little nod, like, it'll be all right, man. Just do what they say. Like, and
right. And they put bags over everybody's heads.
Yep.
Okay, but before that, like Jack and Kate like do this weird like blink at each other. I was like, what is this?
And then Sawyer's like, I'm here too.
Yeah, don't forget.
Honestly, they do this like weird blink thing at each other, and I'm like, okay, this is the sort of blink I do like with my cats, because they say like, oh, a slow blink with cats means that like is like the I love you, and I'm like, what is this straight people nonsense?
It just made me think of Caddyshack when they're doing. Well, we're waiting.
Speaking of while we're waiting, we cut back to the beach that night. And there's a shot that holds way too fucking long on Claire and Charlie until she goes, "What happened down there?" And it's it's like a full 20 seconds of them just like sitting there and her being like, "Yeah, what happened?" And then Charlie's like, "Well, do you want to talk about the fireball or the fork that tried to kill me?" She's like, "Why don't you be serious?" It's like, no, he is, you idiot.
And he's also like, look, it's not my fault that this script is a page and a half short. We need to just kill 45 seconds. So can you be with me, please?
There was no other scene that could have needed a little padding.
Yeah. Fuck it, let's kiss. Smooch.
I'd rather kiss my dad than watch those two kiss. Come on.
I think this is their first kiss. I think that's why it's supposed to be important. I couldn't tell you.
Barf.
I also couldn't give less
Don't
or more of a
care.
fuck, whichever one's more appropriate. We cut to an unknown location.
Actually, what ends up happening is it's like cut to winter.
cut to the inside of a hurricane that is also a blizzard at the
Just
same
a fucking
time.
snowstorm, avalanche, all happening at the same time. And then it's like white on screen. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Eyes were not ready for that.
Right, yeah.
No.
Yeah, some sort of observation station or something like that. These two Portuguese dudes, or two dudes who speak Portuguese, whatever, playing a little chess. Oh, you're gonna blow it. I'm gonna checkmate you. I'm luring you in with a whatever.
We're playing chess.
The computer, electronic anomaly detected.
There's beep boops.
Yeah, how long has it been doing that? Fucking days. I don't know, man. I'm drunk as hell, and I love chess. We missed it. No, we didn't miss it. Let's make the call. Grabs the phone. This yellow phone. It's the hotline. Hotline to the hot lady. She's asleep. Hey, girl, you up?
Remember us?
We found your electromagnets.
It's Penny. Penny is on the other end of the phone, and she's like, fuck yeah. Like I said earlier, if you have enough money and determination, you can find anything you want. I paid these two dudes to live in a blizzard and wait for this to happen.
I want that episode. Like what were they? What were their lives?
That's a bottle episode that could have been desperately needed.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
that
should have been the missing pieces.
Right? Yeah, man. That's what they should do with the missing pieces. Is just like figure out what these two dudes' deal is.
Honestly, I take a full 45 minutes of that.
Yeah,
just like of them being in that, and like I don't know. It's like, is that also part of the Dharma Initiative? Like the fact that it's like they're also like alone and like stuck in this place and like having to like check this thing.
Yeah.
And like
Or they're using old Dharma
the
gear.
Widmore's involvement.
yeah, and it's like it's all connected, and it's really just like all of these like weird experiments that are actually like happening on people. God, I'm just rewriting Lost.
This is really good. I like that, Jack. That's very good.
And that's it. If we're not going to live together, we're going to die alone. And if we don't do either one of those things, we will watch Lost, which is what we've done. Boom. But wait, there's more.
Oh my god. Who the hell put a
The bonus
fucking,
round.
Missing pieces on the double length episode?
Thank you so much, Rando.org. It's Missing Pieces time. Tropical Depression originally aired on December 31st, 2007 on your phone if you were watching stuff on your phone, and ABC.com if you were watching stuff on your computer.
Oh my god.
Like in 2007, that was like revolutionary.
Yeah, I mean, I think only like 20 people had smartphones.
Let alone ones that could handle that.
Tropical Depression was written by Carlton Cuse and directed by Jack Bender. Our central characters are everyone's favorite sad boys, Michael Dawson and Dr. Leslie Arst. Tropical Depression takes place on the 43rd day after the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. We open on the beach. Dr. Ars is trying to catch a Medusa spider.
It's a bug!
It's a big bug. It's gross.
We all need hobbies now.
That's true. It's very true. He's got a jar. There's bugs. He's a scientist.
Let's go bugging.
Sorta, or whatever.
Yeah, allegedly.
And he gets it. He nabs it. He's got the spider. He's got a spider in a jar, and it's all good. Michael Dawson. Remember, day 43, right before launching the raft. He's like, hey, man, what's up with the weather conditions for tomorrow? Is this going to be good for the launch?
As if he would know that without any like scientific tools or whatever. But Leslie was running his mouth about weather before. And then he's like, I don't know, man. I made all that other shit up.
Yeah, which he
I just wanted
confesses
you
to.
to get moving. Get off the island.
Get your fucking ass in gear. Get us rescued. There's no real trigger to the story that Ars then dumps on Michael. Michael's just kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to go. And Ars decides this is a good time to explain why he was in Sydney.
Just reveal more. Like, yeah.
I fell in love with a woman. She was so good.
And I've never seen a man more bored and more dying to get out of there than Michael in that scene.
Like Golden Globe moment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's very good. Yeah.
The facial acting that Harold Perrineau does in this is absolutely stunning.
Again, a master of facial expressions.
Yeah, so good.
That is a man that wants the fuck out of this conversation.
Yes. He tries to stand up several times.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what, man? Us too. Like,
it's a sad and kind of sweet story, but not really.
But also very weird.
Yeah, but very weird about how basically Arst reversed catfished. Or no, he catfished somebody because he was on a dating app and he used his buddy's picture to meet a woman. And then they went out for lobster and she was like, and
you're out of here. Yeah.
Which, like, what was the follow through gonna be?
Right.
What was the game plan?
Right. She's gonna realize that you don't look like this guy. Then what are you gonna do?
Michael has this thing about, I'm not sorry about. I don't feel sorry for you. Take a look around. None of us want to be here.
Yeah,
you know?
shit be fucked. Like
he could have very much been like, hey, man, I don't feel sorry for you. You know why? Because we all survived. We're okay. We're going to make it through this. But that's Michael just being like, I don't know, man, whatever.
Michael was already so fried just from like that minute and a half of this man saying things that was like, I do not have a filter for you anymore.
I don't.
And nor do you deserve it.
Right. I am out of patience. And I came here. I had so little to begin with.
Yeah.
At the end of it, ours is like, you know what? Just like get out there, do the thing. You guys are going to smash it. I'm rooting for you. And when you guys come back with the rescuers, I'm going to be the first one waving with your return. And it's a joke because at this point, you're supposed to know that he dies a little bit, shortly after this.
I'll be honest, I completely tuned out during the other characters, during the story.
And just watched Michael.
I was just watching Michael's face because that's how I felt.
That was phenomenal. And that part of it was great. So it kind of didn't matter what Ars said because it was just a vehicle for Harold Perrineau to just do a little acting.
Oh, he's so good.
Flex a little muscle. So that's it. Tropical Depression. Bam.
Dude, it has the hardest hard cut. It's just like, this was clearly just a deleted scene from another episode.
And that's that. Did we like it? Was it good? Is the question that we ask ourselves once we get done talking about the show. Did we like it? Was it good? These are two different questions. You can like something that sucks. You can hate something that rules. Whatever. Jack, why don't you kick us off? Did you like it / was it good?
I liked everything except for the fucking A-team fucking off into the woods. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't give a shit about any of these people. But like, as we've all learned, including myself, that I am a Desmond apologist, that I really liked all of the stuff with the hatch and like the computer and like putting the code. Like I loved all of that, and like, and I just have more like I really just want to know more about like all of that sort of stuff. That's what I'm interested in, and so I really enjoyed these episodes for that. But like the other stuff, I could.
That's fair.
Was it good? No, like I mean, it was better than I anticipated, but like I've seen much better TV.
Sure. Brett, what do you think? Did you like it? Was it good?
Again, like I was the one that was like, this is my episode. Right? This is like one of the few that I distinctly remember. Mm-hmm. So was it good? No, especially like being this far gone.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Sure.
Especially as a series finale and all that, I could see like being fine. Especially because like it's only season 2, it wasn't going off the rails yet. They didn't need to up the ante as much before.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it.
Sure.
I still enjoyed it. Like those lines in the moment of like wishing Locke goodbye and all that. The other like thing saying like I was wrong is when Locke had that moment of saying I was wrong.
Yeah.
We didn't mention that, but like
That's
when
right.
Locke,
I specifically wrote down him saying I was wrong.
Yeah.
When John Locke said I was wrong and just like what you saw in his eyes.
Yeah.
And the delivery that Tombstone Stereo Quinn delivered on that. It's just like
very, very
again, it all still holds. It's funny, like, and I know this is like part of like the whole thing with you guys, like this whole podcast is like returning to it and seeing like what still holds up.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be a mixed bag. Every episode will be a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And,
no doubt.
Yeah. Overall, still holds up.
Sure. JB?
Yes, I did like it. A lot of what I'm doing, though, is I'm juxtaposing it against our season 1 finale, which I really did not care for because it spent the whole time leading up to something and it didn't answer any questions. Whereas in this, I got a lot of questions answered. The A-team plot was the least interesting bit about that. Everything with Desmond and Locke and the hatch and the button and the flashback, I was very entertained by that. I'm going to say I did like it and it was good. Adam.
Yeah, I was thoroughly entertained by it. I was having a good time watching it. I did like the show, spending some time dealing with some of the mysteries that had cropped up over the past 2 seasons of TV. It could have been shorter. They're still running on this thing that the season finales are going to be big 2-part things. Yeah, you could have trimmed some of the fat out of this. There's a way to write this that you don't need to take 90 minutes to do it.
Sure.
You can make it tighter. And
that's fair.
And yeah, as far as I've certainly seen worse episodes of Lost, and if nothing else, I had a good time sitting down and watching it, and for the first time in 15, 16 years, whatever it was. So
sure.
Let's do some MVPs.
Yeah, let's do it.
Lost MVP is our favorite character of the episode. We're doing 2 episodes today, so who's your favorite character of Live Together, Die Alone? Who was carrying their weight? Who just moved the story forward? Who was just your favorite person, place, thing, whatever? Jack.
Desmond.
Care to elaborate?
No.
Perfect. Brett.
Michael's actor and his face. Michael's actor's face.
Michael
for both.
Harold,
for both episodes.
Harold Perrineau's face.
2.5. Yeah. What a masterclass in facial expressions.
JP.
I'm giving it to Sun. Man, she didn't have a ton of time.
Yep.
She's just not taking no for an answer. I like that, man. She's just like, nah, fuck you. I'm coming on your boat.
She smashed the patriarchy pretty good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
In these.
Yep.
Just her line of, look where he ended up.
Yeah.
Look where he ended up. Exactly.
And just know that she's about to blast Colleen, which is one of my favorite things that's happened on this show so far. So
it is pretty great.
Yeah, giving it to son. Adam, who is your MVP?
I think I gotta give it to Desmond as well.
Yeah.
It was really the only, of course, it's a Desmond-centric episode, so we're gonna get to see the most character stuff about the centric character oftentimes. Yeah, he's going through it, and I like to see Henry Ian Cusick make and Desmond go through it. So yeah,
he's great.
Desmond,
he's really talented.
The other side of the coin, they're not doing it. They're not making us happy. They're not helping. They're not improving the situation at all. Lost forever. Live together, die alone. Jack.
Elizabeth, both the person and the bird. I'm just so unhappy about that fucking scene of her being just like my husband David and be like, oh, what's the name of the boat? Elizabeth, my name. And you're like, get out. I hate it. So both
That's totally fair. It's so good.
Both of them can get wrecked. Literally.
Love it.
Shipwrecked.
Nice.
Did it. Got him.
Got him. Brett.
Yeah, just upper middle white people in general.
Upper middle class white folk.
Yeah, just in general. Just
no, like with the episodes we watched. Who are your? Did
I stutter? It's evergreen.
That's the interesting thing about television from all time is that it's an interesting time capsule about upper middle white class folk and how things never change for them and how it always rules.
Either in front of or behind the camera. It's
JP.
I gotta give it to Jack, man.
No, somebody in the show, not me.
Damn,
I would never.
I thought they were a great contributor to the show.
I did it.
Jack Shepard.
Dr. Shepard.
Doctor.
Commander
I
Shepard.
forget he's a doctor. Oh, God, this makes me so much angry.
There's two doctors on the island. Dr. Arce and Dr. Shepard.
And they're all idiots.
I'm so sorry, JP. Sorry to
they're a doctor in like the Ben Carson sense.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You're good at your job, and then like anything else, and
he's a chiropractor.
he's a podiatrist.
Oh, let me see them feet. Are you sure you're a real doctor?
JP, back at the feet stuff.
Oh man, I just Jack's needing to keep secrets from people. The fact that all this could have been avoided if he would have like helped Michael find his son. He's just kind of a shitheel.
This is what we accepted for leadership in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The writers know how to write some very interesting characters, just not the one we're supposed to care about the most. So
yeah.
Adam lost forever.
Oh, Locke.
How dare you?
What?
I'm gonna.
If you're gonna, this is the time.
He's a true believer.
He said he was, but he admitted he was wrong, Adam.
But every time he believes in something, he's wrong. And this is the only time he ever admitted to being wrong about it. Every time he finds a cause or something, it ends up blowing up in his face. His faith is literally never rewarded. And literally sometimes things blow up in his face. So he was wrong, and he admitted it, but like the shit almost happened anyway. Like,
I cannot believe this is how our friendship is ending.
Unacceptable.
Lock.
I don't know what to say.
Lock.
Wow.
So that's it. Live together, die alone.
We did it. And missing pieces. Y'all.
And missing pieces.
We did it.
Holy and missing pieces all in one. Jack, Brett, thank you both for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a long one.
Thank you.
Is there anything y'all want to plug?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jack Loves TV.
Jack Loves TV.
If you need somebody in your writer's room, get Jack in there. Let's go.
Please hire me.
Yep.
Please.
Yep.
I can also be in your writer's room. I mean, I'm not a professional, but
I'm not trained at
I'll hang out. You got snacks.
Got some LaCroix.
Yeah.
Brett greatly improves the vibe of every writer's room that he steps in. So,
of any room he steps in.
Yeah.
If you put at the Dude Von Doom into just about any given social media platform, you'll find me doing something or other. This is funny timing because you're actually just days after I had graduated officially. A bit of a super senior, but at long last, I officially graduated from Knox Pro Entertainment.
Cool.
My wrestling academy and promotion. led by Rikishi and a couple of the Samoan dynasty that The Rock and Roman Reigns and who have you are part of. That was a great night, and now I'm a free agent, and
Hell yeah.
Actually, and if I'm gonna keep it a 100 emoji, pretty free from wrestling in general. I'm just I'm just wandering, man. I'm just doing my own thing. A lot of things with Wasteland and whatever. But I guess if you want me to improve the vibe of any given room, well, I can moonlight a bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
At the Dude Bone too. Yeah. I forgot to do this at the top of the show. We did have another coffee contributor. Big thanks to Bonnie Bueno.
Oh, yeah.
Dropping a little cash on us, keeping the lights on. Appreciate you big time. I appreciate also that you didn't write a cryptic message about watching me record from the window, which actually referred to JP and not me.
She hasn't.
Unless.
Yet. So
actually, Bonnie's back on the fucking West Coast, baby. She might be watching you now.
Oh hell yeah!
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi,
Thank you for the cash. We appreciate you.
Listen, if there's anyone that you actually want watching you through your window, it is Bonnie. So
all of a sudden, we hear just like a scurry from the bushes.
Adam, what are we watching next time?
It's an excellent question. If you're trying to be lost with us next time, we will be watching season 3, episode 18, DOC, with everybody's favorite runaway bride, Sun Quan.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we've had a Sun episode.
So yeah, check that out for sure. Because it'll, I'm sure, be a blast. Just like every episode we've done so far.
Blast or a brum.
Or a
bleep, 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 bleep. Magnet fart.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning into this episode of Lost on Lost.
Yep, I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
You have any idea what's going on the show?
Nope.
Me neither.
Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Lost on Lost 1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.